Ladies and gentlemen, welcome, welcome, welcome. Another Pride edition. The Different Perspectivez podcast is now in session. Today, I have with me a very, very special guest. I believe I've known her since I was about 10, and she has a fabulous name, I must say, Jennifer. She owns a business called From Jenn With Love. And let me tell y'all, she makes the best, the best, the best. I just say the 3 times so y'all would know the best. Cooks, cakes, all those baking things that you could think of. She makes them all. Specifically, there's a banana pudding cake that I would like to recommend to my audience. I've had it probably, well, I'm not gonna tell y'all how many times I've had it. It's none of your business, but I've had it a lot of times, and it is delicious. So, without further ado, Miss Jennifer English is on with me today. Round of applause for her, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and
Hello,
gentlemen.
hello, hello.
How
Hello,
are you,
hello.
my dear friend? It's so
I'm
good to see you.
good. I am good. I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm just splendid. I'd be better if I had a piece of that banana pudding cake to be
I know
snacking
next
on
time I
right.
see you in person, I promise to
Okay.
have it. I promise to
Okay.
have it.
All right. Y'all heard that on air, so you know. I have it on tape. I'm gonna play that next
It's
time I see
recorded.
you. Yes,
Yes,
that's
I know.
right.
I know
That's
you
right.
will. I know
You
you
know,
will.
you know I'll hold you
Yeah.
to it. So let's jump into it. How in the world? Because let me tell you, I knew you when you was a little girl. I don't remember you talking about baking or cooking or
I
none of that.
didn't.
So how
I
did you?
didn't.
And you know what? I could have thought you was gonna be like a teacher or something. How did you get into baking?
Well, actually, baking, I fell into baking.
You tripped and fell?
Not tripped and fell in that way, not that kind, but fell into baking like I can do that kind of situation. I had quit working at in the corporate world, working at the courthouse for Pearland when I got married. And so once you get married, you're at home with the children. And so schools are always asking for something, cookies, cupcakes, something for the teacher, something for a potluck, something for whatever appreciation, whoever we're appreciating. So I was saying since I was home, I can do that. So I started with cookies. I made red velvet cookies, chocolate chip cookies, lemon cookies, German chocolate cookies,
Red velvet cookies?
red velvet cookies.
I don't think I have ever had a red velvet cookie.
I have so many red velvet variations. You got to try. I have a red velvet banana pudding. I have a red velvet cookie. I have a red velvet cake, of course. And yes, it's a lot of different red velvet variations. You got hooks to the banana pudding, you stop. Or the banana pudding and the rainbow shooting, you just stopped after those two. You couldn't. It was so good, you stopped.
I will explore further, but continue.
Yes, but yes. So that's how it started. I started off with cookies, and I was making cookies, and then of course cupcakes came next. And then when I was making the cupcake, maybe I can't remember who the customer was, but they asked me to make a cake. So I just made a simple yellow cake, chocolate frosting. Brown people love it. So that's what I made. And it just snowballed into where I am now. Just one thing after another, self taught, me and you two learned everything into what I am.
So, like the recipes that you have, because now listen, I myself can cook. Like now I can really cook. I've not known how to cook all my life, but I've learned how to cook. And I
Mm-hmm.
cook from recipes.
Yes.
Your stuff tastes like grandmama and them recipes.
It is grandma now.
Okay, because you just said YouTube.
Well, no, like learning techniques on how to make the custom cake, like learning the piping styles, learning the how to frost, learning how to pipe a flour on a cupcake. Though that's what YouTube taught me. But the taste is what I got from eating my grandmother's sweet, eating my aunt's sweet. Like I watched them in the kitchen growing up. So when it was my turn, I was like, I kind of remember how they did this. I kind of remember how this tastes. So I just went off of that. And then, of course, the internet, Pinterest, Google help you out with some basics. But I kind of just mix and match and play around in the kitchen to find the right taste.
Wow. And you tweaked it over time.
Oh, yeah, tweaks, lots and lots of tweaks. Different kind of extracts, mixing several different flavor combinations together. I like making cakes that have two different layers. Like one layer might be strawberry vanilla marble, and the top might be a vanilla funfetti. So then you can get
Mm-hmm.
both tastes in one.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a lot of
Okay.
flavor combinations.
So talk about what was your first big gig, like your first big cooking assignment that you said, okay, I need to make this From Jenn With Love. Like I need to create a business.
Ironically, the first big order I received wasn't even something I had to bake. It was just some dipped Oreos, but it was stick go at the time. And so I was very like, this is it. I
Wait a
was
minute, ladies and gentlemen. Did you hear that dipped Oreo? Now I didn't even know you meant dipped Oreo. What is a dipped
dipped
Oreo?
Oreos. It's an Oreo, of course, and it's dipped in chocolate. And then you can put an edible image on top. So it was 350 dipped Oreos with the Siggo image on top.
Anybody else hungry? Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, you're gonna get the shit of listening to this podcast easily, easily, easily. But yes, that was the first big order. But then my first baking order was for a birthday party. It was a kid's birthday party. I think it was maybe their fifth birthday. And I did the cake sickles, cupcakes, dipped pretzel, dipped Oreo, and dipped Rice Krispie treats. It was like a spread. It was the biggest thing I've ever did, and I was so excited. That was the first kickoff From Jenn With Love.
Oh, and so is that when you created Jenn With Love? Like what made you say
Yes,
I
that's
gotta
what made me.
create?
Yes, when I did that one birthday party, I was like, this needs to be a business. I need a name. I need a name. Because in the very, very beginning, I wasn't From Jenn With Love. I know it's not trademarked. It wasn't on a lot of things. It was just something I said when I dropped off a couple of things. But it was just like hashtag bake. And I was like, I don't know if I like it. Doesn't sound very professional. It doesn't sound something from me. Like when you get my treats, I wanted to feel like I specifically made this for you. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? So when I changed the name to From Jenn With Love, it sounds more of a greeting and a thank you.
I know I could taste the love in the food. I can taste it. There's some loving in that banana pudding for sure. So From Jenn With Love, you came up with that name because you said you wanted people to feel the love in your baking.
Yes, I wanted you to feel it through the baking. Like, because I'm not going to be there. When I deliver the treats, when I deliver the cakes, when I deliver whatever, I want to still be there in a sense. Like, this cake is going to be talked about for the rest of the party. Like, you're not going to remember the party, but you're going to remember the cake kind of situation. And I hear that a lot through the reviews, through the comments, especially when someone comes to me saying, oh, you're a top name in the Melanin Moms of Pearland. And I'm like, wow, thanks. Didn't even know I was in there, but I appreciate it.
It's always amazing when you find out people have been speaking your names in rooms that you didn't even know you were in.
Exactly. Exactly.
Okay, so let me ask you this. What would you say was your most difficult baking assignment as of yet? Well, maybe you had to even bring in help, but you said, okay, wait a minute. Now, this is a lot.
I'm gonna have to say during the George R. Brown Bridal Convention, it was my first expo, so I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know how grand it actually was. I've been there once before as a bride, but I didn't really pay attention to the cake vendors. So coming in as a cake vendor, it was just a different perspective. So I just didn't know what to expect. So when I got there, the booth directly across from me was who made the cake. Now, if you're from Houston or if you know anything about cakes, who made the cake is like a very, very, very big cake business in Houston. They do cakes for the Astros, the Rockets, and the Texans. So they're a really, really big business. And then right behind me was Wedding Cakes by Tammy Allen, who also is a very big Black owned business, but she's also a very big wedding cake vendor in Houston. So, with that being said, once we start the expo, I had a line wrapped around like the booths trying to get to my booth because of my cake taste. So, after the expo was over, it wasn't like an award, but the people who run the expo said that I had the best cake. Even Tammy Allen came to my booth because she heard about my cake flavors and wanted to taste it. So that was really big for me coming from my house, making all these cake samples to go to the George R. Brown to have Tammy Allen say that she liked my cake was just mind blowing. So that was my biggest accomplishment. That was amazing.
So I'm curious because one thing that I did notice about your particular baking products, anything that you have made, because for those of you that don't know, I did have a birthday party and I had Jennifer do my baking stuff and I had, what do you call them? Shooters.
Yeah, yes, dessert shooters.
Yeah, I had dessert shooters. And I, of course, as you know, at your own birthday party, you hardly ever eat because you're having so much fun, as I was. And so I didn't get to eat my dessert shooters until the very next day. Now, I was at a hotel because we were in another place. And so at the hotel, I didn't put them in the refrigerator. They literally were in a styrofoam container, and it was probably like 5 of them because I had different flavors. These dessert shooters sat out all night long in a styrofoam container in the hotel room. When I woke up the next morning, of course, I was hungry. I went to go eat one of these dessert shooters, and they tasted like Jennifer had just made them.
And brought them to your room.
I was amazed because normally cake is stale, it's not moist the next day, and I mean, it was like scrumptious, like you literally had just given it to me. And so I was like, how does Jennifer do? So I'm wondering, it took you a week, like, don't give your secret away, but like, is the ingredients that keeps it fresh?
No, it's about how you store them and how you prepare them. Because of course you have to refrigerate them before you bake them, but not too far. I know I said about a week, but that's the whole process. Baking the fruit to put them in the pies, rolling out everything. So like the last 2 days is really filling and baking. So it's like the day before the wedding, everything is baked. Like that night, it's all boxed up, it's wrapped, and so it can keep all that moisture on the inside and not be released really until you bite into it. It just stays inside this little either container or its pie shell, or with my cakes until you make that first cut, that slice, all of that moisture and all of that yumminess is going to stay inside. So you can literally order a cake a week before your birthday, keep it refrigerated, and then the day you want to enjoy your cake is going to taste like you just bought it that day.
Now that brings me to this question. Is that still a tradition where you're supposed to freeze like a layer of your wedding cake?
Yes, some people still do that.
Okay. So you freeze, is it the top layer, like the
It's a top
smallest?
layer. No,
Okay.
just the whole top layer of your wedding cake.
Okay. So you've had people freeze your,
Mm-hmm.
okay. And
And
I'm
even
sure
after the wedding, it's sit there for the reception the entire time. When it's time to serve the cake, they take the first hair off, they box it up, they put it away, and then they tell me that I usually get a picture maybe a week after the wedding that it's in their freezer. And then when they open it up on the year anniversary, they're like, the cake is still moist.
that's the From Jenn With Love magic, huh?
The From Jenn With Love effect. The From Jenn With Love experience.
I'm all right with it. Now, let me shift this a little bit because this is Pride Month. And yes, yes, yes. And I want all my gay friends, all my gay sisters and brothers to know that Jennifer is absolutely an LGBT friendly bakery. And a lot of the times when I'm doing weddings, people are asking me, who do I want to refer for different services and things? Because you'd be surprised how many people out here do not, want to bake our cakes. And so listen, it is shocking, but people are still like that. And so I want to highly recommend, if you're listening to me, From Jenn With Love, go ahead, book her. Now, let me ask you this. For people who are not in your area, are you still available to come to them? How does that?
Yeah. See, I'm in Houston, Texas, and I have gone to all the surrounding cities around Houston, as far as Huntsville, as far as Huntsville to the north, and as far as Galveston to the south, and all around. Now, for weddings out of state, of course, you got to call me and we can work out something. But of course, it's going to be, I will be able to travel for a wedding. I do travel for a wedding.
And then when you travel, how would you make it?
I would have to rent like maybe an Airbnb just for the kitchen purpose. Because I would have to bake, if not bake the cake, because I have the cake already with me when I come, but just for, frostings and last minute things, I would need to have a kitchen accessible for the cake, for whatever I'm making, because some things are time sensitive and I wouldn't be able to do it until the day of or the day before the wedding.
Understandable. Understandable. Now, tell everybody about your rainbow cakes because they are now, I mean, banana pudding, I'm a little, partial to them because that just happens to be my favorite. But the rainbow cakes are phenomenal. So tell them how it's layered and then you have a little cookie on. It's so cute. But you tell them about the cakes.
Yes, it's a little dessert shooter that I make. And most cake dessert shooters have just 2 layers of cake. Just 2 pieces of cake, frosting. That's it. But for the rainbow shooters, it's all of the colors of the rainbow. So it's 6 layers? Rosie Viv, how many layers is that? So it's 6 layers of all the colors with a little thin layer of frosting in between. So when you get your rainbow shooter, it's the whole rainbow. So you'll be able to literally taste the rainbow. You're eating the cake shooter. And it also comes in regular cake or cupcakes. I could make a rainbow swirl in the cupcake. So when you bite into the cupcake, you can see all the colors on the inside. So it's really whatever you want. I could make rainbow. Dip pretzel, Rice Krispie treat, cake, cupcake, anything that can be dyed or colored with sprinkles, you got it.
What do you think is the most creative thing you've done with the rainbow?
There was this one event I had to do. She just wanted cupcakes in the solid colors of the rainbow. So she had 6 dozen cupcakes for each color. And it just came from the top all the way to the bottom. And it was just really pretty because it was such bright, vibrant colors. And no, it sounds simple, but it was really pretty at the same time. And then I made the 6-layer unicorn cake. So on the outside, it just was a solid color. But then once you cut into it, you saw all the layers and it was, it's pretty. They're all on my page on Instagram or Facebook. You can see all my work, all my rainbow goodies.
Out of all of the projects that you've done, because you're an artist, right? What is the one cake or the cupcakes or the whatever? What is the project that you're the most proud of that you can remember baking?
In a world where every love story is unique, From Jenn With Love celebrates every shade of love. We believe in the power of love that knows no bounds, and we're here to add a sprinkle of joy to your most cherished moments. From the first glimpse of your dream wedding cake to the moment you share the first bite, we're with you every step of the way. Our bespoke cakes are crafted with the utmost care and personalized to reflect your unique journey together. Imagine a cake as unique as your love story. Whether it's the colors of the rainbow that speak to you or the intricate designs that tell your tale, our creations are more than just cakes. They're symbols of celebration, love, and inclusivity. At From Jenn With Love, we're proud to stand with the LGBTQ plus community. Our doors are open to everyone, and our mission is to create beautiful, memorable experiences for all couples, because love in all its forms is worth celebrating. Let us be a part of your love story. Together, we'll create a masterpiece that's extraordinary as your love, because every love story deserves to be celebrated. From Jenn With Love. Visit our website or call us today to start planning the cake of your dreams.
What is the project that you're the most proud of that you can remember baking?
The one that I was most proud of was the 150 mini pie. I did all that myself, man. All that by myself.
You had no
Every
help?
pie. I had help delivering, but making and baking and all of that by myself. I did every single pie these hands cut. And I did every single
Wow.
pie. Yes, it was like I think pictures are on my Instagram and my Facebook, and it was a really pretty display. But yes, all those pies, it was a sight to see. When I was setting up for the reception and people were coming in because the wedding was almost over, all you heard was just, wow, look, it's so many. It's all handmade. Like I was just ear to ear smile, ear to ear, like a Care Bear. My heart was beaming out.
You were so proud.
I was so proud of all my hard work. And then every single pie was ate. Every single pie. There was none left over. The bride said there was nothing.
Wow. Wow. Okay. What's your favorite out of all the things that you make? I have actually spoken to people who like make sweets and stuff, and they'd be like, I don't even like sweets. I just make them. So I'm just curious, like, do you have a favorite?
I'm good. Okay, I don't want to just take it out of your mouth because you just said it. But I don't really eat a lot of sweets.
You got
But I will say, I do like cookies and brownies. I will take a cookie and brownie any day. Or when I have to make Italian cream cake, when someone orders Italian cream cake, I get a little excited because then I make a little mini 6-inch for myself and I just squirrel it away.
a mini six. You make a mini 6-inch for yourself?
Not or a mini cupcake. No, a mini 6-inch for myself.
So you have an Italian cream fetish? Is what I'm hearing.
It's a little bit. And it's, that's that old people cake, but it's so good. So anytime someone texts me that they want that for their wedding or birthday or whatever, I'm just like, oh, I'll just put a little to the side for me.
I know I do not like the whipped icing.
Oh no, I discourage people from.
Do not, whatever you do, all you listeners out there, if you ever send me a gift, do not send me no whipped icing.
Do not, no. All you listeners out here, do not ask me for whipped icing. It's not stable. Don't put me through that unnecessary stress.
No, Jennifer, explain that. What do you mean by it's not stable? Because people might not understand what that means.
Okay, the stability of whipped icing is not strong enough to hold design. If you want a two-tier cake or a grand cake, whipped icing is not your go-to. It's not strong enough. It's just gonna slide off. Whipped icing is made for fruit cake. Like if you're just gonna have a piece of cake, fruit in the middle, put some whipped icing in between that, and then another piece of cake, perfect. But if you're trying to completely cover this cake with this whipped icing, it's just gonna melt off. Don't stress me out. I'll put some whipped icing on top of a fruit cup and go on about your business. But don't stress me out trying to put whipped icing on a cake. Also, I do not make cake pop. Another stressor. We broke up years ago. I don't want that toxicity in my life.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, y'all are my witness. You walked into this because there's somebody listening that was getting ready to call you and ask you about some cake pops.
See, I will redirect them to a cake sickle.
Okay, what's the difference between a cake pop and a cake sickle?
A cake pop is a little bitty circle, right, on the end of a stick. It's too small to work with. I don't like them. My hand-eye coordination is not that great. I can't with cake pops. But a cake sickle is bigger.
It's like a popsicle?
It's like a popsicle, yes, on a popsicle stick. It's a bigger piece of cake. It's more cake. I feel like it's a better option because it's, like I said, it's more cake than them cake balls. I don't like them. I will redirect them to cake sickles and they will be just as beautiful. And then even with cake sickles, guess what? You can put a rainbow cake inside of them. You can't put a rainbow cake inside of a cake pop.
Okay, y'all, she has a prejudice against cake pops.
I do.
So, unfortunately, if you are a cake pop person, she's going to redirect you to the cake sickle instead.
Yes. And you're going to love them.
Oh, and excuse me, and you're going to love them.
You're going to love them. And you're going to say, thank you.
You're okay, and you're going to say thank you because she's going to give you a better option. All right. Well, okay.
More beautiful on the dessert table. I'm telling you.
Okay.
I'm doing this all out of love.
Hey.
From Jenn With Love.
From Jenn With Love. I mean, okay. Now, what are the future plans for From Jenn With Love? You plan on opening a bakery one day? Is that in your future foresight?
Yes. One day I will have a brick and mortar storefront. That's in the future because we also sell on Amazon. So we're going to need space, lots and lots of space. Oh, I had to educate my dear friend Jennifer here about fake cake.
I was going to get to that. Don't be trying to skip.
We're on Amazon.
But you don't have to call me out because I'm not the only person that didn't know about you. Now listen, this is what she's talking about, y'all. I was not up to date on the fake cake because I'm not interested in buying something I can't eat if it's a cake. So that is really what it was about. But anyway, while she's trying to call me out, explain to the people, is it bespoke? Is that how you pronounce that? It's a bespoke cake?
Bespoke is another word for custom. It's a fancy word for custom.
Well, then it's not another word for fake.
No, you can say fake cake or faux cake, but it's all the same. It's just a styrofoam cake that you cannot eat that people use for weddings. And it makes sense because here in Houston, Texas, it's 100,000 degrees.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to have me sued for misrepresentation. It's not at that 100,000 degrees in Texas, ladies and gentlemen. It might be 99 today, but it's not 100. I don't live in Houston, but it's not 100,000 degrees.
Okay, I'm sorry. It's 100 degrees, but then it says that the real feel is 100 billion degrees. So with that being said, summertime weddings are not nice to buttercream. Buttercream, cream cheese, summertime and frostings don't mix.
And I love my buttercream.
Exactly. Cakes melt. That's why the next best option is to get your cake of your dreams as a fake cake. Okay. And then it will stay the entire wedding without melting. You can have a little section in the back that's a piece of real cake can go into so you can cut for the pictures. And then your guests will be served the cake that's in the back. But then your cake stays beautiful the entire ceremony.
Wow. But well, okay. So it's a cheaper option because the design cake is made and it's fake, right?
Yeah.
And then, so then the actual cake that you're actually ordering is somewhere in the back being served, but it doesn't have to be in the design. Is that why it's a cheaper option?
Yeah, that's why it's cheaper because with wedding cakes, what you're paying for is not only per slice, but you're paying for all of the design that goes into the cake. So it's all of that included with the per slice price. So when you have a fake cake, you're just going to pay a base price for a fake cake. So this is an example price. Let's just say the fake cake is $100. Okay, so now you have $100 wedding cake that's on the table that you spend versus spending $1,200 for the same cake on the table, but now you have to cut into it and it won't only be there for the entire ceremony because everyone has ate it. But if you get a fake cake, you can look at the cake the entire time, pictures, for the whole ceremony, and then the cake is in the back for the staff to serve.
So I'm curious, how many people are like doing this nowadays? Because it's interesting to me. I really didn't know about this.
Yes, a lot of people do it. I've been selling fake cakes on Etsy and Amazon for maybe like a year now. And on Amazon, I'll sell almost a cake a day.
Really?
Yes.
And what do fake cakes run?
They can go anywhere between, because we go from 1 tier all the way to 4 tiers. So it's probably like $70 for the first one up till maybe like $250, $275.
And then versus the real cake runs?
About $1,200 for a 4 tier because you're paying by the slice.
Right. So there's a huge difference. So you selling at least one of those fake cakes a day?
Yes, because when you do that, then you have your fake cake. You order it on Amazon, you take it to your wedding, you go to Sam's, get some cupcakes or get a sheet cake, boom, you're done. And your guests have cake. And you have this cake on your reception and you can take pictures by it and it's gorgeous and it won't melt. And then if you like it, well, of course you'll like it, but you can keep it forever.
Oh my, that's interesting.
It become a centerpiece in your living room.
Now, the only thing that I don't like about that though is they don't get to taste your cake.
Oh no, the customers online, they don't get to taste my cake. But local customers who do order fake cake, they also get to taste my cake because when they order a fake cake from me for their wedding, all of that is included. We do the sheet cake, pre-sliced. So when you have your wedding, the slices are already made. So then the serving staff can just pass out your cake that you chose for your wedding.
Okay. Well, that makes sense. All right.
It's a cheaper option. It's a more cost-effective option if you're trying to cut costs somewhere.
And listen, this is Pride season. Some of us are going to get married on a budget this season. Look on Amazon. How do they find you on Amazon? Are you From Jenn With Love?
Yes, From Jenn With Love. Or you can just type in fake cakes and we're going to be the first business that comes up under fake cakes on Amazon. Yes, ma'am, girl. We're the only market that is selling fake wedding cakes on Amazon.
Round of applause again.
Black-owned business. Black-owned business.
Can I also do a shameless plug? From Jenn With Love is an official trusted partner of the Jennifer Experience. So that makes sense. Yes, that makes sense. That you would be at the top of the list. That makes a lot of sense. I love it. I love it. So listen, before we go, I want you to tell all the people, how do they find you? I know it's Pride Month, so if you have any of those special offerings you want to offer, if anyone wants to book you from hearing this podcast, all that kind of stuff. Tell them how they find you. Tell them about your discount. Tell them all that.
Okay, well, if you have Instagram, which most people do, Instagram and Facebook, you can find me on both of those social medias with From Jenn, 2 N's, with Love, From Jenn With Love. And anybody who listens to this podcast and can refer to this podcast will get 10% off their wedding services this month. My email address is fromjenwithlove@yahoo.com. I think it's From Jenn With Love 1 on TikTok for some unknown reason. I think someone has my name. I don't like that, but that's a different story. But yes.
All right. And if you go to www.thejennifferexperience.com and click on Trusted Partners, scroll down, you will find From Jenn With Love there as well. Listen, Jennifer, my namesake, it has been great interviewing you. I've learned some stuff today that I didn't know about cakes and stuff. This is interesting because even though I can cook, I am not a baker. And so I am I'm outdone at some of the stuff you have said today, and especially learning about your fake cakes and all that. That's interesting too, that you're able to do that. But that's also, I think, smart business too. So shouts out to you, Black business owner, Black woman business owner. Shout out to you, letting that Black magic shine, girl. Go ahead with your bad self. So listen, y'all go find From Jenn With Love. Go follow her on all the social media platforms. You will see her beautiful cakes. You will see her cookies. You will even see the banana pudding cake that I'm referring to. And I know on her Instagram, there is a picture of the cake shooters that were at my party. If you go look.
Yeah. Rainbow shooters, they're there.
Yep.
Oh, and every day for Pride Month, I'm displaying another rainbow cake I made. So each day you'll see a new rainbow cake or new rainbow treat I made all throughout the years for Pride Month.
Wonderful. Oh, I know one more thing I need to ask you. Now, for weddings, do you do taste testings?
Oh, yes, absolutely. Yes. Contact me for cake tasting. You can pick 4 flavors. I have an array of cake flavors you can choose from. And even if you don't see a flavor that I offer, we can create one together.
Look, this girl is a bad mamma jamma. She can create flavors for you. What can I, man?
Yes, yes, yes.
I'm proud of you, my friend. You have grown up to do some marvelous things, marvelous things. I know your parents are proud as well. So you keep on doing it. I am again elated that you came on today. I'm glad to have you as a friend and as a trusted partner. And I wish you all the best in your business. I will continue to patronize it for sure. I have a whole lot more banana pudding cakes I can eat.
I got them for you. I'm ready.
I know you are. I know you are. Thank you all for coming out and listening today to the Different Perspectives podcast. It has been great. Happy Pride Month to everyone.
Happy Pride.
Yes, and we will see you again soon. Hello, listeners. Jennifer here, host of Different Perspectives. As we celebrate Pride Month, I want to take a moment to share something very special with all of you. Have you ever found yourself navigating the complex journey of parenthood after your child has said to you they're gay? It can be a challenging road to walk, but let me assure you, you're not alone. That's why I wrote the booklet, Shades of Acceptance, Navigating Parenthood After Coming Out. In this heartfelt booklet, I share my own experiences along with practical advice and compassionate guidance to help parents like you understand, accept, and support your LGBTQ plus children with love and authenticity, no matter how old they are. Whether you're struggling with questions of faith, acceptance, or simply how to best support your child, Shades of Acceptance offers insight and wisdom to guide you on this journey. I encourage you to get your copy today. Head over to Amazon or my website, www.thejenniferexperience.com, to grab your copy today. As a matter of fact, I have a special treat for you. If you use the code PRIDE, PRIDE, you'll get $10 off either the e-booklet or a physical copy. Let's make this Pride Month a celebration of love, understanding, and acceptance for all. Thank you for listening, and remember, love is always the answer, and love still conquers all. I love all of you. Take good care.